And good morning, Nashville. Welcome into the Chase and Big Joe show. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier here with the speaker, Connor Newt, and Parker Kelly behind the glass. Back on the air, folks, as you heard from Jake Lyman and Joe Rexrode to finish off their hour. And we got a lot to get into, Connor.
It was God saving us from Jake Lyman's voice.
Oh, no.
I'm
Jake
just kidding.
Lyman's great.
I'm just kidding.
Him and Joe Rexrode both.
They're
But,
all right.
I mean, we got some.
But we're better.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
think
kidding.
so. Yeah. I mean,
They know I'm messing with them.
as long as
Hopefully.
the power lines stay up, we're good to go. But that was a head case getting in here today.
I mean, we all had to park about a block down from the actual parking lot.
Yeah. Was offered a cigarette by a homeless man, which was kind of
Whoa.
crazy. Yeah.
Do tell.
Yeah. I was walking down the street, had my backpack on. He looked at me, waved, nodded at the head, and held out a cigarette.
Oh.
Didn't speak any words verbally. I was like, I'm good. And I don't do that. I'm good. But
You're one of them now.
I guess so.
You can join the community.
I guess that means I got to go to the store and buy new clothes. That's what that means.
Or don't. Just wear that
Yeah.
for the rest of your life. Every
Okay.
day. Don't
Possible.
shower.
Well, you know, we have some actual sports news to get into. Connor.
Yes, we do.
Will Levis will undergo season-ending surgery on his shoulder.
Wow.
I mean, at this point, what does that give the Titans any leverage?
No. I don't think he's going anywhere now,
Okay.
except for
The injury.
free agency.
Okay.
Maybe they'll slap him on the PUP list so he doesn't have to start the seat. Well, obviously he won't start now because
Right.
he's out for the year. But I think that hurts the Titans' leverage as far as increasing his trade value, because who's going to take an injured quarterback with no throwing arm?
Yeah, nobody wants to take a chance on that.
Nobody. So I think we're going to find Will Levis. Either he's going to be on the roster just on the PUP list, or he's not going to be on a roster, period.
That's valid. I don't know. I just think for the Titans' sake, probably going to, maybe move on from that for the most part. It's just like we were talking before the show started. Brennan Allen season is what it is.
Yes.
It's backup quarterback Brennan Allen season. So, I mean, from that standpoint, I think you look at it as, well, Will Levis, thanks for your time here. It was a nice chance, maybe a decent opportunity, but the head cases with, making mishaps under center, and now, with all this shoulder thing.
We do have an update from our
so?
good friend, Teron Davenport.
Okay.
TD says, it should be noted this is Will Levis's decision. The Titans are merely supporting it.
Oh.
Levis won't be with the team when they report tomorrow. His surgery is scheduled for July 29th.
Wow. That is
So to me, that
interesting.
says Will Levis is like, yeah, I think I need shoulder surgery. And the Titans are like, okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
It also sounds like that Will Levis is just, he obviously knows what's happening. This ain't his team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I think he's known that.
yeah. And last year when we were talking on Force Company too, when they were coming into the season, when you force a guy like Will Levis into a captaincy spot, having, I guess, wanting your, at the time, franchise quarterback to wear the C on his chest, and he wasn't ready for it, you're just forcing things. And now with all this taking place of having him get shoulder surgery, not going to be a captain this year, probably not going to be involved at all with the team.
Oh, he obviously won't with a season-ending injury. But
yeah,
I know what you're saying, like from a locker room perspective. Jake and I talked about this too. Having Will Levis on your roster is like inviting your ex to your wedding.
yeah,
It's like
it's icky.
you've already proposed to Cam Ward. You're engaged. You're kind of married to him now, but not really. Like you have a future with Cam Ward. You know what you are getting, sort of. Will Levis being there is the guy you kind of proposed to originally. Things didn't work out. You broke off your engagement. It's just kind of awkward having him there in that room. And I'm not saying that this because I think Will Levis has any malice towards Cam Ward or he's jealous in any way. I just think it's kind of weird to have a failed experiment mixed with your current experiment in the same locker room.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. From this outsider looking in, it just seems like this never really was going to work out.
No,
it never really was. And to that point, like seeing, like you mentioned, the whole ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend thing at a wedding, it's almost like Will Levis was at the altar or walking at the altar, tripped, threw the ring out into the water and said, I'm going home. Like that's kind of how I feel about it.
No, you're right. It really never was going to work out. The problem is Titans fans, myself included, convinced themselves that it was after the Falcons game, and then he showed some flashes that season, especially in the Monday Night Football game against Miami.
Yep.
And then after that, there's not much substance. Like,
Yeah.
there wasn't a single game after that where I looked at Will Levis and I was like, he is the reason they are in this game. Mainly because they were not in a lot of games. But I don't know. It's just, it never was going to work out. He is too stubborn of a player for it to work out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of the hero ball madness that Will Levis created. And I think Cam Ward has some elements to that, but on a lesser scale. I think Cam Ward, he is not going to want to make a mistake. I understand that. That should be every quarterback's mentality. But the problem is, I don't think he's going to try and make these highlight reel plays like Will Levis would. Like, was it against the Jets where Levis he was going down in the middle of a sack, tried to pitch it off to Tajay Spears, and it ended up being a fumble?
It may have, yeah.
I mean, that was the worst one. Then, of course, there's the back-breaking one against the Bears where he's got his hands behind his head.
Just does this number and
infinitely memed.
Yeah.
But all that to say, I don't think it was ever going to work out with Will Levis. I would be honestly shocked to see him on the roster at this point. With his injury concern, the locker room concerns, not concerns, he's a good person, but just kind of how he meshes with the locker room. The morale, yes. I mean, it's Brandon Allen's backup role to me. It always was, but now the Titans can't say there's an open competition at quarterback because it's Cam Ward's job.
Yeah. And like I said this with Joe, I think it was last week or the week before, and it was kind of a hot take, but I think Cam Ward's a top 15 quarterback, even before he'd taken a step in the NFL.
Really?
I do.
I'm not ready to say that yet.
Oh, all right, Stephen A. Smith.
I mean, it's not really a Stephen A. take. I really do think the quality of quarterbacks in the NFL, it's not great. Like, you have your Patrick Mahomes, you have your Jalen Hurts, your Justin Herberts, but then you kind of dwindle down into 11 and 12 range. And do you put Geno Smith over Cam Ward? Like
yes. Yeah, 100%. Right now?
Yeah. Right now.
Aiden O'Connell?
No.
Okay.
But he's not a starting quarterback.
Right.
Sort of. With the Raiders.
No, Geno Smith. Geno Smith's the guy.
I'm just saying, though, like, in that realm of, like, starting quarterbacks.
Well, I think you have your elite quarterbacks, your kind of good tier, your two.
Yeah.
I'd say great. And then you have your good, and then you have your unproven guys.
Right. I don't know. I understand that Cam Ward is unproven, but yet I still think he's a top quality quarterback. He falls in that range of CJ Stroud, Jaden Daniels, all the hype around him, but yet I think he will perform.
I think he'll perform, but I'm not ready to say that because I've experienced it so much with the Titans.
Yeah.
You know, we thought Vince Young was going to be the guy. He was great his first year.
Yep.
Then what happened? We thought, maybe Jake Locker will be the guy. My first jersey, by the way.
No.
We thought Marcus Mariota would be the guy. Had lots of flashes, didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill is about as close as it gets to being a top 15 quarterback for the Titans other than Steve McNair.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to put that label on Cam Ward yet because I haven't seen what he's capable of doing on the field. When I see what he is capable of doing, I still won't be there because it'll take me some time. It'll take me probably the whole season to realize, okay, what is Cam Ward?
Yeah.
If he has a good year, chances are you're probably right. Maybe he is a top 15 quarterback, but I don't think you can say that right now in the league, but especially in the AFC, because it's such a gauntlet of quarterbacks. You have, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Jackson, Herbert, all of these guys that are perennial upper tier quarterbacks.
Right.
I'm not sure, not even seeing a snap of Cam Ward in the NFL with this bad of a roster, I'm not sure I can even put him in the top 20 yet.
Can I provide some optimism?
Sure.
So seeing Cam Ward at training camp, he's very, and I was talking to TD about this, he's very militaristic in his approach and the fact that like there's no messing around. And Jeff Simmons, who, will come talk trash, the whole defense would come talk trash to Cam Ward. He'll give it right back. But he's getting everybody in line, and he's doing that as a rookie. And I feel like that's something that I haven't seen. I haven't seen out of Mariota. Haven't seen out of Levis. They may have been hard workers, and I don't doubt that.
Right.
But Cam Ward, there's just something different about that guy. He's really edgy.
Yeah, I know with Marcus Mariota, he was more of that quiet leader, that quiet.
He wasn't going to say
alpha.
much.
No,
he's just going to go play.
Yeah, and I think with Cam Ward here, to Parker's point, what he said, it is a very militaristic style where he's boom, boom, boom. Everything's organized, and he's there before all the coaches when it comes to learning stuff for the most part. But I think that just with that pressure, with all this pressure on his shoulders, like they say, pressure makes diamonds. I think this guy's ready for the big stage. I really do.
I do too, but I think he's got to prove it to me first.
Okay.
We can talk about, oh, he looked great in training camp all we want. We can talk about, oh, well, he can chatter and back it up in training camp. Bottom line is training camp is not a real NFL football game day environment.
That's fair.
You're playing your guys. What I will take away most from Cam Ward at training camp is when we get into joint practices.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him against other defenses. I believe they play the Falcons and the Buccaneers. Those are two pretty decent defenses. I want to see how he handles himself against a starting level NFL defense that is not his own.
Yeah, you're right. Well, we're off and running here on the Chase Big Joe show. Again, back up and running. The polls are back up and running. We're here. We're broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. More about the Titans, Will Levis, on the other side here on the Chase Big Joe show, 102.5 The Game. Back here on 102.5 The Game, Jason McJoe Show, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier with the speaker, Connor Newt, and Parker Kelly behind the glass. Connor, before the break, we were talking a little bit about the Titans and especially the big breaking news of the day. Will Levis will undergo season-ending shoulder surgery. And I was telling you in the break, I find it funny how this all took place after his little quarterback camp.
You think that's the reason?
I don't know.
You think these little 8-year-olds came out there? He sucks. Get surgery.
That was at my high school, by the way.
Really?
Donaldson Christian. Yep.
DCA, baby.
I don't know how many people showed up.
Home of the fighting Joe Dubins.
Yes, the fighting Joe Dubins. Yep, indeed.
JJ Dubins.
JJ
not
Dubin.
Joe.
Yeah.
JJ.
Okay, well, continuing here with the Titans, talking about Will Levis, it just, I'm kind of in awe the fact that he's no longer going to compete for a job, obviously with the whole shoulder thing. But reading Tehran's report here saying that he was going at a backup job during OTAs, and then now this takes place, and it's all curtains from this point going forward.
The Titans won't tell you that, though.
No.
Do you really think it was Will Levis's decision?
No. I think he was told somewhere behind the scenes saying, you know what, Will, love you, man, but it's just not going to work out. And then he's like, you know what, for my benefit of my career, I'm going to go get shoulder surgery and just test free agency.
And the Titans said, okay, go ahead. Yeah, that makes things easier on us.
We will support you fully.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Which, good on the Titans.
Yes. Good on the Titans for actually making the right decision and not backing up some odd, stupid idea. So, I mean, good for them. But as for Cam Ward, this is his team now. Going forward, this is his team. Brandon Allen is the backup quarterback, and Brandon Allen, a lot of familiarity with Brian Callahan in this offense for the most part, was, I believe, the backup quarterback in Cincinnati for the last 3 seasons when Callahan was there. So this is a good familiarity thing for Brian. It kind of opens up some room to where he no longer is, I guess, clouded mentally with having to really try to figure out, do we really have a true backup quarterback competition, or is it going to really be Brandon Allen? So I think now that, Will Levis is out of the equation, you can just focus on 2 guys. And also too, for the, I guess, growth of Cam Ward, he's able to have a true backup quarterback. Just, you can learn from a veteran out of the NFL. And I think that's a huge benefit. Whereas instead of having your mind mentally on, I need to outcompete somebody else for this starting quarterback job. I mean, we all knew it wasn't going to happen, but still, if you're a guy like Cam Ward, being a very pinpoint guy where you're wanting to learn and, establish your dominance, that's what you have to do. So I think it's all out of the barn now.
I think it lifts a weight off of Brian Callahan's shoulders.
Oh yeah.
Now he's thinking, I don't have to worry about trying to develop this guy. Not even as a starter, just as a solid backup. He's not my problem anymore. He can focus fully on Cam Ward, which is what you want this organization to do. You want this organization to invest fully in the #1 overall pick. By the way, in case we forgot, I don't think we've hammered that home enough. Cam Ward is the #1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Because the NFL Network sure as hell won't talk about it. But I think it's really just a weight off of the coaching staff's shoulders that they don't have to worry about what Will Levis does in practice anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. You say it takes a little bit of weight off Brian Callahan's shoulders. Like I said, I think it clears up the quarterback room and it leaves a little bit of less pressure on Brian Callahan when it comes to developing quarterbacks for a little bit. But I think it actually adds more pressure to Brian Callahan to now you have to produce. As a coach, you have to produce. Because if you don't, say, like, I'm go kind of revisionist history here. If you go 1-4 in your first 5 weeks of the season, it doesn't matter if Will Levis is gone or not. That just goes to show you we see the true value of Brian Callahan.
That's a good point.
So that's where I'm at on that.
That's a good point. It's a blessing and a curse. That's a great point, actually.
Yeah. Because
you don't have to worry about Will Levis. Guess what? You got to double down on Cam Ward and make sure he is damn sure your guy.
Because if I look at it this way, if you're a farmer and you're harvesting your crop for the rest of the year, and you actually have to clear the weeds a little bit, and you recognize that, I got this much land I need to cover, and yet you can't fulfill that promise, there you go. That's your problem. Yeah. And that's Brian Callahan right there. Straight up. If you can't fulfill your promise, then hasta la vista.
Yeah. I do fully. I'm kind of subscribing to the idea that this wasn't fully Will Levis's choice.
Yeah, no. And
we'll never know the answer to that. I don't think.
Maybe
in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But will we care in a couple of years?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably
not. But I don't know. I can't fully get behind the idea that Will Levis went up to ownership and said, "Hey, I just don't feel well. I don't think I want to go for a backup job. I think I'm just going to sit this year out and get surgery for the betterment of my career."
Yeah.
I have a hard time thinking he did that fully on his own. I think he heard something behind the scenes, maybe a coaching staff thing where they said, "Hey, Will, you're probably not going to be on this roster."
Yeah.
And he said, "You know what? I'll just take myself out of the equation. I don't want to be a burden." Boom. So maybe he did make the choice, but I don't think it was fully a thought he had on his own.
Here's my thing I want to ask you is that, say if this surgery is successful for Will Levis, which it probably will be.
Yeah.
And he comes back better than ever, better than he was at Kentucky his senior year, better than his rookie season with the Titans. Say this guy is lights out and the team takes a chance on him. What does that say? Not, I guess, about the coaching staff of the Titans, but the organization itself. I mean, obviously, the whole situation, Levis didn't do well his first year, first impressions. But as an organization, how do you feel about that? Say if Cam Ward doesn't work out either. How do you feel about this?
I feel bad because you could have invested in your offensive line and you wouldn't have gotten hurt in this situation in the first place.
Yeah.
But I look at the situation right now. Is there a team in the NFL right now that feels bad for the Titans for taking a chance on Will Levis?
No.
Is there a team right now that you think will go out right now and sign Will Levis and say, "Hey, once you recover, we want you to be our starting quarterback"?
Not starting quarterback, but I'd say
A quarterback on
Yeah.
our roster?
I'd say there's probably a handful of them.
Maybe.
I would easily say the Vikings would be in that conversation.
But any true contenders?
Not that comes off the top of my head. I mean, like I said, maybe the Vikings because, reading stuff online, JJ McCarthy, yikes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you're actually right about the Vikings because Kevin O'Connell has a thing for developing young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And he always said that the organization and the franchise fails a young quarterback before they fail the franchise.
There you go.
Do you think Will Levis heard us talking, not us specifically, but local media talking, Will Levis is going to get traded. He's not going to be on this roster, and said, "I'll probably just take myself out of the equation.
Absolutely.
Don't trade me. I'll be hurt. You can cut me, but don't trade me. I want to choose my next destination."
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't see why not. I mean, from a business perspective and just being a professional athlete, that's the right move to do because you want to protect your future. And like you're saying, you don't want nobody else to dictate your future itself.
Right.
So, for Will Levis, kudos to him. And like to your point about listening to local media, he probably was. And for the psyche of all that, it probably messed with him for the most part.
I think they all say, we don't subscribe to social media or listen to local media.
They do.
They all do.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I mean, how can you avoid it?
You can't.
You can't.
You can't. You're around it every day. I mean, I'm sure people are sending them stuff like, how do you think Jeffrey Simmons heard about local media talking about him?
That's what I'm saying. He's listening.
He's listening. They're all listening. Maybe not all of them, but I think most of them are.
They get their news.
Because it's an obsession. We are all addicted to our devices, and that's a completely different conversation that is pretty unrelated to sports. But what I'm saying is Will Levis may have heard us talking about him and how he's not going to make this roster and how he's not good enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL and how where else would he go, and said, "You know what? I'm just going to take myself out of the equation. Don't trade me. I want to figure out my next destination on my own. I'm going to get surgery and I'm going to be a better quarterback than you had."
Mm-hmm.
That's what is going on in his mind. I'm not saying verbatim he is going to go get surgery and just become a completely different quarterback, because I don't think that's truly how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. It really doesn't, I don't think. And I just want to go to the text line real fast, reading Matthew from Nashville. He said, Could Will Levis have heard the trade rumors and decided, I don't want to be traded, so I'm going to go have surgery, screw up the Titans' plans, and then become a free agent? Kind of what we're talking about now.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, screw up their plans. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, it's not – I don't think it's truly to sabotage the Titans.
Right.
I think it's more for his career, so he can say, well, I can pick my next destination as a free agent. If I'm traded, they send me wherever they send me, and I have to earn an opportunity there. He can choose a quarterback needy team next year, like Minnesota Vikings if they're in that situation. We don't know who's going to be in that. We have a general Colts. We have a general idea of who's going to be there, but we really don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
And obviously he's going to have to wait another year with this surgery. But I'm a believer in that idea that he's hearing these things that we are saying and he doesn't like it. And he wants to go where he wants to go.
Explore those options.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to explore more options on the other side. You know who that option is?
The suit.
It is the suit. Chase McCabe going to hop on with us here on his show, Jason McJoe Show. You're listening to, I guess, the Chase McJoe Show on 105 The Game. We'll have more on the other side. Back here on 102.5 The Game, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier, alongside the speaker Connor Newton, Parker Kelly behind the glass, and a little bit of a holding pattern waiting on Chase McCabe. He's a busy man, but in the
He's got meetings.
he
He
does.
said he was
guy.
in a meeting.
He's at tribal court.
He is. Like I tweeted earlier, him and Big Joe are they're not exactly with each other, but they're at the LinkedIn National Cloud Storage Seminar.
Oh, they got more cloud stuff?
Yeah.
Dude, they're revolutionary.
I don't know if y'all have been in Chase's office lately, but it's just full of the cloud storage, like I think Rayon City. There's another one from upstate New York. I mean, it's everywhere, but those guys are great.
Have you ever been to Rayon City?
I've never been.
I've heard the stories, but I've never been.
Yeah, Joe Dubin talks about it like it's Key West. Like
it's a dream vacation for me now.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to go sometime. Do a show outing.
We'll do it after this show.
Yeah,
let's do it.
That'd be great.
We're already parked there anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We are parked there. Well, continuing today, Will Levis, big news today. Will Levis is out for the 2025 season with shoulder surgery coming up for him. It will take place July 29th, so right around the corner. As for the Titans as a whole, Cam Ward, it's his team. Brandon Allen will back him up. And, it just opens up, it clears up all the smoke that's in the air. And so now Titans can fully focus on going forward and just focusing on developing him as a quarterback and seeing what they truly have in the offense with Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Where you have nothing to really worry about as a backup drama.
How do you feel about Brandon Allen as backup?
I'm kind of indifferent because I could see the benefit of having a veteran like that and the familiarity with Brian Callahan, but I'm a little bit concerned, or I guess not concerned, but worried because of the lack of success that Brian Callahan has had as a head coach play caller, not just an offensive coordinator play caller, but a head coach play caller. I'm curious to know if Brendan Allen's going to help Brian Callahan, I guess, get maybe 2 or 3 more wins on the schedule like that, if that makes sense. But I'm a little bit indifferent on Brandon Allen as a backup quarterback.
See, I view Brandon Allen as just a veteran guy to have. Like all these people that say we need to sit Cam Ward behind Brandon Allen and let him learn. No, because Brandon Allen is not an accomplished quarterback like that, and I don't think there's much for him to learn. He has 1,100 total career passing yards, which means he doesn't see the field that much. He's the definition of a backup. But I view this as you're putting all your chips in the center for Cam Ward so you don't have to see Brandon Allen go out there.
Yeah. That's why I'm a little curious is if Brandon Allen's like that quarterback coach on the side of the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
As that backup quarterback coach per se. But we'll put a table on that, put a bookmark on that. Right now joining us is the Chase and Big Joe show, Chase McCabe. Chase, big news of the day. What do you think about all of it?
Yeah, I know. Like Joe and I have a day off. I'm doing suit things at a manager's meeting, and Joe's traveling, so of course this news comes out. But you guys are handling it perfectly, so I have no doubt. But I did want to give some comments. I mean, this is pretty big when you think about. I mean, we all knew Cam Ward was going to be the starter. I mean, I think if you didn't truly think now, whether you were in the group that's like, hey, he should sit, he should learn for a little bit. We knew that this is what they were going to do. Now it all but solidifies that, barring any kind of injury to Ward. What I'm curious is what this means now for Will Levis and the communication that the team had with Levis. Did they make him believe that this truly was a competition and therefore he was powering through? Because I think this shoulder thing goes back to last year when he got hurt in I think it was the Miami game on Monday Night Football. So has he been just kind of powering through knowing that he might still have a shot? And then they finally came to him before they report to training camp and say, hey, just so you know, it's going to be Cam. We're looking at you to be the backup. And he said, okay, well, I'm going to have this surgery then because I got to think about my future, because now his representation can start, the process of saying, well, hey, look, he's getting healed, he's getting fixed up. And now if a team's in the market for a quarterback next year, albeit probably a backup, Levis may be available. I think he's taken his final snap as a Tennessee Titan. I just feel like that they've moved on with Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick, and everybody believes that Cam is going to be the future at that position. So I think this pretty much signifies, in my opinion, the end of the Will Levis era in Nashville.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there, Chase, about if it was a true competition for the most part, because reading Tehran's report, it says Levis checked into OTAs like this was a true quarterback battle. And there had to be something that went on behind the scenes that said, you know what, maybe it's your benefit to do the surgery instead.
Yeah, and I mean, sure, they said all the right things, they being the Titans. I mean, I liked that they came out and said, yeah, it's going to be a competition, even though we all knew it was BS. It was the right thing for them to do at that point. We also knew that there was going to be a point a week or two into training camp where the declaration was going to be made that Cam Ward is the starter. And if Will Levis didn't know that, then, as they say in the South, bless his heart. But that's the way this was going to go. So my guess is there was a discussion, he was on the fence about the injury or had been powering through, and they decided, this is the best course of action. I mean, that's what the statement said. It's the best course of action for Will moving forward. And look, I like Will Levis. I think a lot of us like Will Levis. I want to see him have a career in the National Football League. I just don't think it's going to be as a starting quarterback, but I think he could be a good backup in this league for many years to come. So if he can get his health in order and then see what other teams are interested in his services next year. I mean, the Titans still control this, I guess, is his third year. So he'd be going into the final year of his contract next year. So that could give the Titans a potential trade chip.
Tribal Chief, I just asked Nick Frazier this question before you got on the air, but with Levis being out, you now solidify your backup spot, I believe, as Brandon Allen. How do you feel about Brandon Allen being the backup? Do you think it's a good thing that he is there, having a veteran, albeit he had 1,100 career passing yards? How do you feel about Brandon Allen as the backup? Are you okay with it? Are you not okay with it? Why?
I think Brandon Allen, I mean, he's fine. He was brought in to be the backup, and I heard one of you say it as I was getting on hold, to basically be that player coach. He knows the offense. He ran this offense in Cincinnati that Brian Callahan, has brought to Nashville. So, I mean, to me, that's what he's another body in the room that can help Cam Ward learn the offense and bring him up to speed. Now, if he has to go into the game, I don't know. I mean, you said he's got like 1,100 passing yards in his career. That I don't have a ton of faith in that. I will be curious. Do they kind of look around? And I have no idea what veterans are out there still. I mean, obviously it's not much left, but do they keep their eye on the waiver wire as guys are released and maybe see if they can upgrade that backup position? Because I will say, even though we all knew that Cam Ward was going to be the starting quarterback, I had a little more faith in Levis being the backup than I do Brandon Allen. So I will be curious how they play that moving forward.
And to this point too, Chase, with the departure of Will Levis for the most part for injury, we're talking about Brandon Allen, but for Brian Callahan's sake, it just seems now the quarterback room, the smoke is cleared. You have your 1A, your 1B, your starter, and your backup. How much pressure is now on Brian Callahan to truly produce this season and maybe at least have 4 or 5 more wins?
There is a tremendous amount of pressure, but he cannot go into this acting like there's a tremendous amount of pressure. I mean, honestly, like if he does that, he's just going to set himself up for failure. He knows what's at stake. He's a big boy. He understands this is a business and it's a wins-based business. And the thing is, and I know fans don't want to hear this, but you have to also look at how, you got to look at the type of losses that you have. If this team improves their win total to 5, that's not great. But then some of the losses are close and like they're in these games and it's simply a matter of a rookie quarterback making rookie quarterback mistakes and he's growing and he's learning from it. Then I think that should factor into, Mike Borgonzi and Chad Brinker and Amy Adams-Strunk's evaluation of their head coach, because the team is showing signs of improvement. If they're getting blown out in every game and they're just not competitive at all, then I think you have to make a coaching change. So that's what they're going to have to weigh. They're going to have to obviously look at Cam Ward and see how he develops, because that really is the offensive head coach's job, is to develop the quarterback. So that's all going to be factored in to what happens this season. I think we all know, though, the roster isn't there yet. The roster as a whole isn't very good. So putting expectations to go from 3 wins to 9 or 10, I think is a little bit out there.
Absolutely. Chase McCabe, great stuff as always. Just make sure that cloud storage gets all situated, because Joe and you've really done a great job this past year collecting those as the year has gone on. So appreciate that. And thanks for letting us fill in for you guys today. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for holding it down. You're doing a great job, guys, and Parker on the board. So appreciate you, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
And tell the Oracle we said hello.
I will tell the Oracle you said hello.
Okay.
Chase McCabe joining us here today on Chase and Big Joe show. Great stuff as always. He just is full of knowledge, just great, full of knowledge. But he made a lot of great.
You know where he stores all that knowledge? In his office on the cloud storage.
On the cloud storage, yeah.
He's got ports set up all over the country. Rayon City, New York City,
everywhere.
In his office. Yeah. Have you seen Superman yet?
I haven't.
Okay,
I've been told it's not a great movie.
It's like the random.
What'd you think, Connor?
I liked it. I thought it was good.
I told you. I give it an 8 out of 10. Okay.
I give it an 8.5. It was really good.
To see it. I haven't had much time to do so. I'm working on some tires that are dry rotting on my car, so that's the big issue.
Also, did you call him Chase McShow by accident at the start?
Chase
McShow. That's a cool nickname.
Chase McShow. I don't think I did, but if I did, it was an accident.
Chase
that was
McShow.
Perfect. It was a perfect accident. So, we'll react to all of Chase's stuff that he said to us here in this segment, and we'll get more into the Titans topics here on the Chase and Big Joe show. Myself, Dr. Craig, Nick Frazier, Speaker Connor Newton, Parker Kelly here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. All right, back on the Chase and Big Joe show. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier alongside Connor Newt, the speaker, and Parker Kelly behind the glass. The big news of the day, Will Levis going to have season-ending shoulder surgery. And for the Titans, I guess this is their benefit because they don't have to no longer worry about a quarterback competition and don't have to have a hurt quarterback go for a quarterback competition. So it's just everything's opening up for them. The clouds are starting to open up. No more dark skies. Maybe this is the beginning of a positive outlook on the Titans' future.
It's like Tennessee weather.
Yeah.
You know, it's sunny one minute and then pissing down rain the next. That's how it's been the past week or so.
Yeah.
At least I've noticed.
Over the weekend, we had like 5 inches of rain.
Dude, I just cut my lawn like last week. Now I got to do it again.
Yeah, humidity. If you have that Bermuda or Zoysia, it loves that humidity.
Bermuda?
The
triangle?
No, not the
Have
triangle.
you ever been there?
No, I don't.
Well, you
plan
wouldn't
on-
be here if you've been there.
Yeah, I would still be lost in the triangle. But no, Zoysia grass loves this type of humidity, man.
I wish I had the grass like Rayon City does.
We all, don't we all?
Yeah.
Next to that historic castle. We all wish.
The brick castle.
But yeah, no, Will Levis out for the year. And yeah, I'm excited now because no longer have to look in the rearview mirror and just think, yeah, we got to worry about Will Levis if he's going to be that. He's kind of like that, you're sitting at a table and there's a bee or like some form of a fly, and it's just kind of always in your vision. You're trying to get it out of your vision.
Yeah.
That's kind of Will Levis.
You're just trying to swat him away.
Just swat him away.
Will Levis is like your annoying 2-year-old. Mommy, always needs something. Now you don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, it's
You
good.
put him up for adoption.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but just take him to daycare for the day or
Yeah,
drop
you
him
dropped
off.
him off.
Yeah, drop him off at the daycare. Drop him off at swim practice, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Swim practice.
I mean, some people do that, man. I know.
just drop your kids off and leave.
No, my first job before this, I was like I guess camp counselor. And so, yeah, I had to like make sure all the 12, 13, 14-year-olds were taken care of. So we go on like trips to the zoo, go swim and all that. And so I had to like make sure they were okay. None of them drowned. So
That's good.
I had to do all like that CPR training and stuff. And so, yeah, CPR certified. Pretty proud.
Look
of
at you.
Yeah.
You could save my life if I was dying.
Yeah. I did do the Heimlich on somebody once.
Oh,
Cracked a rib, but it was for a good cause. It saved their
you
life.
saved a life.
I did. Saved a life.
Where's your Medal of Honor?
I don't need one. It's not necessary.
Just to think of medal.
Yeah, it's just a hunk of
Saving
metal.
lives is my game.
Yeah, but no, shout out to all those people that do that on a regular basis because that adrenaline rush is crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
You had the adrenaline in your soul.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that.
Something. Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, that was a good wrestling reference. There.
Mhm.
That was good.
Mhm.
Any more thoughts on Will Levis you have? Anything?
I'm just kind of stuck on. I just think I'm not convinced he did this on his own
Yeah.
fully. Now I can subscribe to the idea that he went to the Titans and say, I think for the betterment of my career, it would be best if I get this surgery, but I don't think that's without a cause. I think Chase said it too. It is in his best interest to go and say, I'm not going to produce this season. I'm not going to play starting quarterback. I'm competing for a backup role with a guy with 1,100 yards, which that is something he did say that I don't necessarily agree with. Chase says he would feel better with Will Levis as his backup than Brandon Allen.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, I'm back to the whole point when you asked me about Brandon Allen and I'm indifferent about the backup quarterback role with him. It almost feels like, because I mentioned he's kind of the player's coach on the bench.
Yeah.
And I remember last season going into training camp, I believe, with Chase and McJoe, they were at training camp and they interviewed Nick Holtz. And I think it was Joe that asked the question. So, like, what do you really do per se? And he's like, well, I help out Brian to, pick out plays. And if he likes this one, then we go with that. And I'm kind of his second opinion.
He is the assistant to the regional manager.
Essentially so.
That's exactly what he is.
And I'm wondering, and again, I don't know anything. This is just off my assumption and putting puzzle pieces together. I'm wondering if Brandon Allen is possibly in line for something like that in the near future. I mean, don't get me wrong, guy is still playing football, still, producing at a high level. But like you said, 1,100 yards, knows the offense. So if you know the offense, might as well just put you on staff as a coach. You know what I mean?
Like a graduate assistant.
In a roundabout way. I guess you could look at that in the NFL as a graduate assistant. You have the pads on. It's kind of like the longest yard where the second version with Adam
The
Sandler,
Adam Sandler?
and
Yeah,
Burt
yeah.
Reynolds. Yeah. And so Burt Reynolds is over there in shoulder pads and he's coaching. That's kind of how I view Brandon Allen.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's there to play football.
Yeah.
I think he is there ICE in case of emergency.
Mm.
So I think he's behind the glass. Do not break unless it's an emergency. You never want to break it unless it's an emergency.
Right.
But if Cam Ward goes down, Brandon Allen's, I guess, your go-to guy.
And then you turn into the Titans from the mid 2010s and run the football.
Kerry
90% of the
Collins,
time.
baby.
Yeah. Kerry Collins, underrated quarterback for the Titans, by the way.
He was all right.
People need to understand that. Underrated quarterback.
Met Show.
You can see that in Father Ryan. You don't need to see that right now.
The Met Show, baby.
But yeah, no, I think that's the right way to look at it, is that Brandon Allen to me is the players coach that's on the bench that I think could have some sort of succession plan in the works. And it's just me. I don't know.
But you are truly now more than ever pushing all your chips into the middle with
Yeah.
Cam Ward.
You have to.
You don't have another option.
No. And then I think it puts more pressure on the wide receivers. Again, Chase mentioned, I asked him like how much pressure is on Brian Callahan's shoulders. He said there's a good bit of pressure, but he shouldn't put enough pressure on himself to where he has to get, 10 wins on the season. And I'm not saying to that point, like that's not what I was kind of asking. It was more of like, can they get at least 6 wins on the season instead of having a 3-14 year last year? Can at least get 6 or maybe 7.
I mean, I've said it before. If you have 6 or 7 wins and Cam Ward looks good, that's a successful season in my eyes.
Okay.
From a fan perspective, now I know I'm not one of those who thinks, well, the Titans need to win 11 games and make the playoffs for this to be a successful season. 6 or 7 wins probably gets Brian Callahan fired unless Cam Ward looks like an all rookie.
Yeah.
Like he has to be that level.
I mean, he has to. I don't know. But I guess we're getting to the top of the hour here. We will get to more about this, wouldn't you say?
We'll table it for now.
Or we have something special for our listeners that they normally hear on weekends.
Normally on weekends, Jake Lyman and I have been playing it on Stillman and Company for the past 2 weeks. The fan favorite segment.
Yes.
Where are they now?
And we might be able to include Will Levis in this at some point.
I was thinking about that. Where will Will Levis, when we play this in like 5 years, where will Will Levis be?
In the Canadian Football League for the Toronto Argonauts.
I actually got that the other day.
Really?
I'm learning my CFL teams. Edmonton Elk.
Yep.
Calgary Stampede.
The Ottawa Red Blacks.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yep.
Those are the 4. Toronto
Okay.
Argonauts. There's a Vancouver one too.
Yep. Have you there's I think they're called like they're like the Ham Tigers or something.
The Ham Tigers?
I have to go look at it. They're like it's abbreviated Ham/Tiger. So
Ham Tigers.
Yeah, so it's not to eat, I don't believe. But I love the CFL. It's pretty interesting. Only 3 downs. You have, first down, second down, third down, you got to punt. And if you don't do anything, then bummer. The one thing I do think about the CFL is kind of interesting, a little off topic here. They do the tush push very well. Like they'll be 2 yards out, 3rd and 2. They get 4 or 5 yards. The spotting in CFL is a little meh, but
I didn't know they get 3 downs.
Yeah, only 3 downs. No 4
Interesting.
downs. Only
I've
3.
never put myself through CFL football.
It's interesting, man. It really is. I had a buddy of mine who actually went to the CFL. I went to grade school with him. He was my brother's age, 6 years older than me. Went to the CFL, played cornerback, and I watched a lot of his games. And I was like, wow, only 3 downs. And it's interesting, too, because if you're a cornerback, all the players, it's kind of like arena football. They line up 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and they run, and they time it up well. And you're kind of, as a cornerback, you're already dropping back into your back pedal midway through the snap. So it's just interesting. But we have more interesting topics here on the other side in the 10 o'clock hour for the Chase and Big Joe show. Brett Kern joining us at 10:30, so stay tuned for that. Join us here for that as well. And at the top of the hour, here we go. 102.5 The Game. Final hour of the Chase and Big Joe show here on 102.5 The Game. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, the speaker, and Parker Kelly behind the glass. Boys, we're ready for it. Broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. It's that time.
Let's play Where Are They Now?
I've waited about 4 weeks for this game.
Nick Frazier needs to make his return.
It's time.
And since you have played last,
Yes.
you played the first couple editions.
Mhm.
Jake Lyman and I have made some revisions. You have a pen and paper now. This
That's
is
correct.
to prevent stealing the other person's topic. Now that we have pen and paper, you can't just sway your answer easily.
Okay.
It is written down. You cannot change it once it's written down.
Mhm.
A reminder of the rules. The first three are in North America. That is the United States or Canada. The last two are anywhere else in the world.
Okay.
Mexico, Venezuela, anywhere. If we get to a tiebreaker, I will give you a career path of a former or active athlete.
Oh.
I will name all the teams. I'll give you the sport prior to that. Your job is to tell me the athlete. Remember, 1 point for league, 1 point for country,
Mhm.
2 points for specific team.
Okay.
Are we ready, gentlemen?
Oh, yeah.
Adam says that he wants to play as well.
Okay.
So we'll have 4
So you and Adam can.
or 3.
Okay.
So you're hosting.
Yes.
I think it's interesting how
You and Adam can be a joint contingent.
So, Adam, let me tell you, Connor decided to host today because he seems to have not been able to find a way to beat me yet in this game. So I think it's smart of you, Connor. Very smart of you to host.
Well, I hosted because no one else would do it.
Mhm.
All right. Go ahead and hit that music. Let's play Where Are They Now? We start with a former Mississippi State Bulldog, cornerback Cam Dantzler.
Yes.
Played in the NFL for the Saints, the Bills. Where is Cam Dantzler now?
He was played in the secondary, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
former cornerback.
Yep.
Yes. Go ahead and write your answers down.
All right.
I will
Where is he now?
stall while you write. Cam Dantzler, let's see. He's 26 years old from Hammond, Louisiana. As I said, went to St. Thomas Aquinas Regional Catholic High School.
Mhm.
He's a Catholic
did.
man,
Yep.
just like us. Mississippi State. Where is Cam Dantzler? Believe he won the Egg Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
At one point.
He did.
Played
Him and Jonathan Banks both.
Jonathan Banks. That
Yep.
is right. All right. Do we have our answers ready?
I do.
Not yet. So can you tell me where he was drafted?
Oh,
Like what round?
what round? Let's
Third
see.
or fourth, I believe.
Let's see.
Because
here.
if I remember, he was a mid-round
Yeah.
guy.
Give me just a second while I look this up. He was drafted in the 3rd round
Yeah. That's
with the 89th overall
third or
pick
fourth.
in 2020. Cam Dantzler. Was he all SEC?
Ooh, he might have been.
If not, he was an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was pretty
He was
damn
really good. Yeah.
All right. Are we ready? Do we have our answers?
Yes.
Nick Frazier, take it away, Bulldog.
I think it's going to be wrong, but going UFL, San Antonio Brahmas.
Okay. The San Antonio Brahmas.
I also
Brahmas.
said UFL.
Okay,
St. Louis
UFL.
Battlehawks.
You both get a point. He is in the UFL. He plays for the Memphis Showboats.
Oh, I should have known. That's pretty local of him.
So we are tied 1-1.
Okay.
Our next contestant, former Tennessee Vol basketball player. Where is Jordan Bone?
He went to Innsworth High School, I believe.
Did he?
Yeah.
Jordan Bone.
Jordan Bone.
Believe he was on the team that lost to Purdue.
Do we
In
get
March
half a
Madness.
point for what continent he's playing on?
Sure.
Okay, perfect.
Well, they're all in North America.
Oh, the first three. That's right. First three in
Yeah.
North America. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, I know where.
Don't-
I know exactly where it is.
Don't be like D-Mace, who we played with last week. And I asked him, where does this player play? I can't remember exactly who it was. And he just wrote overseas.
That's great.
I'm like, yes, D-Mace.
That is cheatery at its
That's a
finest
great
right there.
umbrella.
They are all
answer.
overseas. All right. Do we have our answers ready for Jordan Bone?
Yes,
We do.
Parker Kelly, take it away.
Okay, I had a little help from Adam on this one, but he is in the G League,
Okay.
playing for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers.
Okay. Nick
I-
Frazier,
It's pretty accurate. I was going to say G League with the Pistons organization.
you are both correct. He is in the G League. He plays for the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. So we are tied at 2.
Do we know what organization that is? Fort Wayne Ants?
Give me 2 seconds.
That's
The
fine.
Pacers? I'm going to guess the Pacers.
Putting you on the spot.
I
there.
believe it is the Pacers, actually.
Fort Wayne, Indiana?
Yeah.
Yep.
Indiana Pacers?
It's the Pacers.
Okay.
Yes, because Oscar Sheboy played there.
Can I get an extra point for that?
No.
So we're tied
Our
at 2
fi-
all. Okay.
Our final contestant of North America, former Tennessee Titan, tight end, who I thought was next up, Austin Hooper.
Ooh,
Where is Austin Hooper?
I don't know.
Played for the Titans, the Falcons, left the Titans to go to the Las Vegas Raiders. Didn't do much there. But I thought Austin Hooper was going to be the next great tight end, and he was
Yeah.
not. He was subpar. But that began the Chig story.
Yes. The
Chig
story
Okonkwo,
that's still untold.
who we know and love. Are we ready for Austin Hooper?
I believe so.
Nick Frazier, take it away.
He's still in the NFL.
Yes.
I'm going to go with the New England Patriots.
Okay. Parker Kelly,
Said the exact same thing.
you are both correct.
There we go.
So we are tied at 5.
love it.
Austin Hooper is in the NFL for the New England Patriots.
Hey, this is a nail biter right here.
Yeah, we
know
have
our stuff.
last week. D Mason Lyman played. It ended 3-2.
Ooh.
It was a pitcher's duel.
okay.
All right, so we are done with North America. We move outside of the continent. At number 4, a former Atlanta Brave, New York Yankee, New York Met, San Diego Padre, you name it, he probably played there. Robinson Cano, former infielder,
I know exactly what league he plays for.
pretty beloved here. He's 42 and still playing.
This is not North America.
This is-
We've moved
this
on.
is outside. This can be anywhere in
Okay.
the world. Was drafted by, let's see, the Yankees. Played for the Mariners, the
Well,
New York Mets, the Padres, the Marlins. Retired with the Barbs. Where is Robinson Cano? Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It looks like Parker Kelly's still going.
Mhm.
So I'll keep talking. He was the 2017 All-Star Game MVP, 2011 Home Run Derby winner. Something else in baseball happened in 2011. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it sounds pretty good. Where is Mr. Cano? Are you ready, Parker?
I'm ready.
All right, go for it.
So I said he's in Japan.
Okay.
I don't know if this is their team name or not, but the Taiwan Tigers.
That is a real team.
That is a team.
It is unfortunately incorrect.
I'm going to
Nick
go
Frazier.
with what I know. It's the Mexican League. I think he plays for the Chupacabras. He played with Trevor Bauer.
He is in Mexico.
Oh my gosh.
He plays for Diablos Rojos del
That's
Mexico, the Red Devils.
I'm on the brink of my first loss on this game.
You
I'll take a
are.
point. I'll take a
Okay,
point for
so
that.
what's the score update now?
So Nick Frazier
6-5.
leads 6-5 as we reach our final contestant.
All right, just
Here
get this
on-
one wrong, Frazier, and let me get it right.
Where are they
Don't
now?
I technically get 2 points for that because it said the Mexican League and it's in Mexico?
You didn't get the exact team correct.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. That's fair. Just
All
trying
right.
to chew away some points if I could.
Yeah. Don't push the judge. I'll take points away.
Okay.
Our final contestant today on Where Are They Now? Former Los Angeles Laker. You name it. He probably played there. Michael Beasley. Where is Michael Beasley? Let's see some things about Michael Beasley.
Played for the Knicks at one point. did he
Played for the
not?
Knicks, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's played for pretty much everywhere. I most remember him on the Lakers because he played with LeBron when he first got to LA. Didn't really do anything notable in his career. He's kind of like Trevor Ariza, just kind of floated around.
He made his money and left.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. He's not in the Puerto Rican League. I know that for a fact.
All right.
man.
Are we ready for Michael Beasley?
I'm ready.
It looks like we're still working.
I think I have an answer.
Okay.
That's all I got. Just the league.
Just the league?
Just the league.
Might be all you need.
Yeah.
Nick Frazier,
I say he is in the Chinese basketball league. And
make up a team.
I don't know. The Red Dragons, the Chinese Red Dragons. I don't know.
Okay. Parker Kelly.
Oh, this is okay. I said China,
Okay.
I don't know Beijing. I don't know the team name, so I'm just gonna say Team Beijing.
Oh, you guys are going to be so disappointed when I tell you this. He is in China for the Shanghai Sharks.
Are you kidding me?
The one
The
team,
most popular team in China.
everyone knows is the Sharks. So Nick Frazier gets on the win column as you hear Adam Vingan sigh of sadness.
Everybody loves when I
Nick
lose,
Frazier
man.
is on the
Okay.
win column
Love it.
with a 7-6 win.
I can't bear to look at myself right now.
And it's a good thing we didn't go to a tie because I didn't have a tiebreaker ready.
Okay.
Can you come up with the tiebreaker on the spot?
Yeah, probably
Sure.
so, yeah.
Basketball. Oklahoma City Thunder, Washington Wizards, Houston Rockets, Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Clippers, Utah Jazz, Denver Nuggets.
John Wall.
Parker Kelly?
I'm going to need you to repeat those teams
Yeah.
one more time.
Okay. Are you locking in John Wall? Is that your answer?
I just
Okay.
probably not.
This counts for absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay, then yeah, John Wall.
Okay.
I'm locking it in. Yeah.
All right. Oklahoma City Thunder, Washington Wizards, Houston Rockets, Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Clippers, Utah Jazz, Denver Nuggets.
Can it count?
No,
It is Russell Westbrook.
it is Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
Well done. But Nick Frazier still wins 7-6.
Thank you very much.
Edging one out. Good job.
After a month off of for a hiatus here, I'm back on where are they now? And big winner.
Good job. All right. So that is the game taking the world by storm, by the way. People love it. Like people, we get it all on the text line. People are playing along.
I'm telling you, it's one of those games where you just you gotta love where are they now? Like Jimmer Fredette, where is he? We don't know.
He's retired.
Exactly. He might be on one of these little shows that we have going forward. I don't
Is
know.
he still active?
No, he just retired.
He's no longer active.
Allegedly, Michael Beasley is currently in the big three. But that is just
It's like an off-season thing.
thing. So during the season, he plays for the Sharks of Shanghai, which is one of two Chinese basketball teams I know.
You think the Sharks would send us a jersey?
I think we should get one from the Guangdong Tigers.
Yes, we should get one from the Guangdong Tigers.
They should send us a box,
Yeah.
and we should unbox it.
Hey, Jake, look what I got here, man.
Box
It's a
from the
box.
Shanghai Sharks.
Have you ever seen?
Fins up.
Have you ever seen John Gruden's unboxings?
Oh yeah,
That's what.
I've seen
this is.
numerous amounts.
Michael Beasley plays here. Former NBA draft.
You know what I think of the Shanghai Sharks, man? I think of Ben Simmons. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey, we got more coming here on the Chase and Big Joe show on the other side. Join us here for that. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Parker Kelly here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Why even interrupt this song? It's so great, Bob Marley, man. Don't worry.
I feel like I'm on an island
Yeah, I feel like that's where
of relevancy.
Will Levis will be after July 29th.
This is what they play when you walk into the gates of Rayon City.
Yes, you're right. The Golden Gates of Rayon City.
The Stone Castle.
But
That's how I feel when I walk into a Buc-ee's.
Yeah, I mean,
Overrated.
whoa.
Buc-ee's is overrated.
Easy now.
You heard it.
Easy. You're now upsetting Dr. Crane here. Don't
Jail.
Yeah, I wouldn't say jail, but it's pretty close.
DC.
I'm just saying. Buc-ee's is where you gotta enjoy yourself. Brisket on the board, like that. That doesn't get you riled up.
No, I appreciate the food. It's just expensive.
Somewhat. The Bucky nuggets are pretty good as well. You gotta.
I'm a big brisket sandwich guy. I do appreciate
We
that.
got to remember Connor is on a college budget. So
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I make money. I'm here every day.
Speaking of college, by the way, getting into college football this segment,
Nice.
talking about the preseason poll. Connor, you kind of brought this up during the break, man. Like, what are your thoughts on the preseason poll going into this season?
I think you're going to see some surprises play out throughout the season. There are some, like Vanderbilt is ranked number 13th, which I think is a little bit surprising. I would have had them higher. I would have had them in the 9 to 10 range, which is where Tennessee is.
Really?
I don't think they're better than Tennessee. I think on paper, Tennessee is probably the better team in the state of Tennessee. But I think you're going to see some surprises. Let me see if I can pull up the full list here. I believe it was Texas 1, Georgia 2, Alabama. Here we go. Alabama 3, LSU 4. Sorry, it's making me scroll forever. South Carolina 5, Florida 6, Ole Miss 7, Texas A&M 8, Tennessee 9, Oklahoma 10, Auburn 11, 12 Missouri, 13 Vanderbilt, 14 Arkansas, 15 Kentucky, and 16 Mississippi State. Now, if you ask me, Kentucky should be number 1, clear cut, but I'm just kidding. But there are teams ahead of Vanderbilt that I think I would take Vanderbilt over. I think I would take Vanderbilt over Auburn. I would take them over Missouri. You could sway me on Oklahoma. I do like Mateer. I think he's a good quarterback. But I just feel like Vanderbilt brings back so much experience.
Yeah.
I love Eli Stowers. I think he's the best tight end in the SEC and could arguably be the best tight end in college football.
Yeah. Agreed.
He's a first-round NFL draft pick. But I mean, the SEC, it just tells you how stacked the SEC is because all of these teams, majority of them in the top 10, I could see making a run.
Yeah.
Maybe not winning the whole thing. Like Tennessee's going to have a down year. Tennessee, I would pick them to go like 8-4, 9-3.
That's respectable. I'd say 8-4 is respectable.
But that doesn't mean they're a bad team because this SEC is just so loaded. There are teams in here like South Carolina, for example, major dark horse, but getting a lot of attention because they have the quarterback. The quarterback play is what I'm looking at most. You have Garrett Nussmeier, Arch Manning, DJ Lagway, Lenora Sellers, John Mateer. Just lots of Austin Simmons at Ole Miss is a young guy I was looking at. You have lots of talent under center. It's just a matter of can it get you as far as you possibly can. And I think that's going to be the case for a lot of these SEC teams is how does the quarterback play fare against others?
Yeah, and I think for Vanderbilt, because you were talking about Vanderbilt earlier, when you talking about quarterbacks, I think Pavia, like I said, brings back a lot of experience. But for Vanderbilt to capitalize on a year like this, like last year they capitalized being the number 1 team in the nation, but also this year, if they end up, going a 9-win season or a 10-win season, I think that only just, and maybe that's a little too far-fetched for some people, but I think it's very doable for Vanderbilt to do stuff like that. Now it just comes down to our team's going to finally figure out when they go up against those top 10, top 15 teams, if Pavia is going to take it out wide, just play the long.
And it's going to be hard. It's going to be so much harder this year for Vanderbilt.
Yeah. And so if Vandy can get a successful 8-4 season, 9-3 season, I think that would catapult their program into another tax bracket to getting players because that you no longer have to worry about the Pavia, Eli Stowers window of opportunity. You can go and actually get solid recruits that are going to primarily make Vanderbilt a powerhouse in some regard. Tennessee fans may not like it. Parker may not like it, but hearing Pavia say that, Vanderbilt, he wants Vanderbilt to be the pipeline or the like powerhouse college university in Tennessee, I think says a lot for just the future of Vanderbilt. Not only just to, blow smoke maybe, but I think he's really trying to set up something for the future for Vanderbilt. Anything the guy says, he owns up to it, which I respect a lot about.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I didn't mind it. Like, I actually loved it. I loved it because, like, yes, I'm a Tennessee fan, but I want to cover the sport nationally, so I try to remove as much bias as possible.
There you go.
I loved it.
That's how you do it.
Well, Diego Pavia beat Auburn when he was at New Mexico State. He beat Alabama, so he has backed it up. And think about it. It is free advertising. When has Vanderbilt ever had a superstar quarterback? He was the most talked about person at SEC Media Days behind Arch Manning. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Some may say he was probably talked about more than Arch Manning.
Looking at Vanderbilt's schedule, Lyman and I talked about this a lot last week. We came to the conclusion that there are 9 winnable games on Vanderbilt's schedule. That doesn't mean verbatim that they are going to win them, which is seeming to be a confusion among people on the text line every time we say this. But Charleston Southern, I think you can win that one. Mm-hmm. At Virginia Tech at night. Tough one, but I think on paper Vanderbilt has a better roster than Virginia Tech. You could win that one. At South Carolina is a toss-up. I think you can win that. Winnable. Georgia State's a win. Utah State, probably a win. At Alabama, I wouldn't bet on Vanderbilt there. Versus LSU. At home, but I would probably take LSU.
Maybe.
Missouri here at home, I think you can win that game. At Texas, I think is probably not happening.
Yeah.
Going back on LSU, I think we could count that as a winnable game. Do you think?
I think so too.
Okay.
LSU to me is kind of in a limbo a little bit, trying to turn that next page with Brian Kelly, trying to figure out if they can be the true powerhouse that they've always been in the SEC. I don't know. With Brian Kelly, when he was at Notre Dame, he hit a ceiling. And I think that ceiling carried over with him to Baton Rouge, which basically kind of capped them out for the most part.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because they're a really good ball club when they do produce. And for Vandy's standpoint, I think they need to take advantage of it.
Yeah. At Texas, I think we could chalk that up as probably a loss.
Yep.
Auburn here at home, I think you can win. Kentucky here at home, you're not winning. I'm just kidding. You're probably winning that one. And then at Tennessee,
that's coin flip.
Coin flip.
I would say it's a coin flip this year.
I would probably bet Tennessee. So of the 12 games, let's see. Yeah, 9 of them. The only ones I would count as probably a loss are at Alabama, at Texas, and at Tennessee.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
It's not verbatim that they're going to win all of those, obviously. The season hasn't started. It hasn't played out. Injuries could happen.
To have a preseason prediction like that, 9-10 wins, and you're talking about Vanderbilt, again, we're turning the page into a new chapter that Clark Lee has established as the Vanderbilt of the future. And it's just impressive to talk about, honestly.
Yeah. Now, looking at Tennessee, and I know we're up against it, but real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think, I understand every time we bring this up, Tennessee fans get upset and say, well, we're not replacing, prime Tim Tebow here. But you do lose a quarterback who had some sort of stardom and was ascending into the ranks of a good quarterback.
Yeah.
You lose that, and you kind of desperately replace him with Joey Aguilar, who I refer to as G5 Joey.
That's good.
Do you think they can find some sort of success with him under the center?
I think Tennessee's in the same boat Vanderbilt was when Pavia came to the SEC. They're getting a guy that's coming from a G5 school that, produced at a pretty high level in group of 5 games, but it's more of just that unknown of can he really play in the SEC? Because it's a whole nother breed of football when you play in the SEC. That's my only issue. As for Joey Aguilar, when it comes to playing with Tennessee, it's coming down to, are they going to get 7 wins or 8 wins? Like you're talking about 8-4. I'm leaning towards a 7-5.
Really?
Yeah. Something about it. I feel like Tennessee is going to have some issues when it comes to quarterbacks. You're going to probably start Joey Aguilar one game, or midway through a game, if Aguilar's not doing well, you put in the backup, Merklinger. Is that right? Put in Merklinger, and then it's just going to be a cycle back and forth, back and forth. So
I lean towards 8-4 because I don't think they're beating Alabama. Yeah. I don't think they're beating Georgia, and I don't think they're winning at Florida. Then I think, in typical Tennessee fashion, they'll lose when they're not supposed to, like in
Mhm.
Arkansas or a Kentucky or a Mississippi State or something like that.
Yeah.
That's just how I see it. It obviously could very well not shake out that way because that's our job, is to make predictions, and you can agree or disagree. I don't really care, but that's just how I see it.
Yeah, that's fair. If Tennessee ends up going 6-6 or 7-5, and then they go and get a quarterback in, let's say, the portal or next offseason, and he has a lot more, higher. I know they got McIntyre and waiting in the reins, but at the same time, I'm not high on McIntyre either. So maybe that's just me being a negative Nelly.
And if you
but-
think, sorry,
no, go ahead.
if you think I'm a Vanderbilt homer, I have them going 5-7.
Really, Vanderbilt?
Yes, I have them losing at South Carolina, at Virginia Tech, at Alabama,
Right.
to LSU, at Texas, and at Tennessee.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm on
Was
the.
that 6 or 7? Let's see. 1,
believe that
2,
was
3,
6.
4, 5, 6. Auburn. Auburn is the other one.
Okay.
I could see them losing to Auburn.
Gotcha.
So 5-7 for me.
Okay. Well, I'll give you my predictions later on down the road. But as for right now, 1-2 the game and Souls for Souls have teamed up for a back-to-school fundraiser. Souls for the 615 to provide new shoes for kids experiencing homelessness in Nashville. Help a child in Middle Tennessee step into a new school year with the confidence by donating $20 for a new pair of athletic shoes. For more information and to donate, visit thegamenashville.com/shoes. Souls for the 615 is sponsored by Macero and 12 South. Go check them out for handcrafted cocktails, bold plates, great happy hours, and elevated hospitality. More here on the Chase and Big Joe show with Brett Kern on the other side. 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Back here on 102.5 The Game, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Parker Kelly, joined by former Titans punter Brett Kern. Brett, how you doing this morning, man?
Doing good. Just got done with some high school football practice. So kind of trying to beat the heat, even though it's pretty hot out already. But I'll take right now rather than 3 o'clock on the turf. So
there you go. Are they in helmets or just no pads at all?
the helmets, shells, and then full pads come next week. So kind of slowly ramping it up, getting ready for some high school football to start here in about a month.
Yeah, can't wait. High school football in Tennessee for sure is something special. But kind of want to get in a little bit of some Titans. Obviously, the big news with Will Levis today, going to be out the whole season 2025 with that shoulder surgery coming up July 29th. Just your assessment on all of this and how that plays out for the Titans going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were a lot of questions about what was going to happen with Will, and they try to trade him to all that kind of stuff. And I think for him, coming off the injury that he had last year, and obviously coming back into this year, throwing, and I mean, if it's not 100%, and he has the option, he's his own business entity, right? Every player is, they're their own business, and so for him, I think feeling like for him to be 100%, to get the surgery is probably the best thing for him. And so obviously he's gonna get the surgery, and then obviously take his time to rehab and all that kind of stuff, and then come back next year. So obviously I know the Titans and him talked about it probably to length, and this is what he felt was best for him, and it sounds like they're on the same page. And so now it's I think that probably saves a little bit of the Will Levis went 18 for 20 and Cam only went 10 for 20. So now what are we going to do? All that, craziness that happens during training camp and evaluating every practice and every throw and all that kind of stuff. And so, for Cam, obviously that maybe allows him, whether he was thinking about it or not, in the back of his head, it still allows him to go out there and know that he's the guy to go out there and obviously to start training camp tomorrow with practice on Wednesday, to really come out of the gate, on the same page with his guys, and to pick up from, what was a fairly successful offseason to get ready for the season.
Brett, you just said it. Cam Ward is officially the guy with Will Levis out. But in terms of Brian Callahan, the head coach, the guru or quarterback guru, how much pressure does Levis being out for the year put on him with Cam Ward being the starter?
I mean, I think there's pressure on everybody, whether it's Callahan to Cam Ward. I mean, you're talking about jobs that are on the line. And I think, even for Cam, like the last thing he wants to do is you don't want to go down that carousel of, well, we didn't have a great year. And then all of a sudden Callahan, potentially gets fired. And then all of a sudden you got a new coach coming in. Now I have a new coordinator. Because I think we have plenty of examples of guys that come into the league that are high draft picks. And obviously they go to teams that aren't, really successful off the gate. And, they start going through the whole coordinator thing, right? The new coach, look at Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, right? I mean, I feel like every, 2 years, maybe even a year, he might be getting a new offensive coordinator. Every 2 years, maybe 3 years, it's a new coach. And the next thing you know, you're really not into the, a Patrick Mahomes having Andy Reid for his whole career, right? And that makes a huge difference. And so there's a lot of pressure on everybody to perform, whether you're, a draft pick, 4th round, the receivers, DK, Imanner, right? Like there's pressure on them too, to perform. Because when you're 4 and 3, or when whatever the record was it 4 and 13 last year?
14,
you obviously don't want to, 3 and 4, you don't want to repeat that. And so there's pressure on everybody from Callahan to Cam, to make sure that this thing gets off on the right foot. And it starts obviously Wednesday with practice. Like there really can't be many days where they're taking steps backwards. Because once you go in, I mean, you're opening up. That's a tough one at Denver to start the year with that defense, who really only added pieces to their defense. It's not like their defense has gotten worse. They were already great defense last year, top 10 in a lot of categories, and now they draft a corner out of Texas, right? They've added pieces, so that's a really, really tough start. And so you can't have those days in camp where you're taking steps backwards. You got to be pushing forward. Cam's going to have his days where, he throws some picks, right? How does practice go against Atlanta? How does it go against Tampa? So I think there's pressure on everybody, but yeah, I mean, for Callahan and Cam to be on the same page, that's the start.
Yeah, Brett, to that point too, talking about just the pressure on everybody's shoulders. We spoke earlier in the show about just Brandon Allen being that, I guess, players coach on the sideline, and now being that backup quarterback, with the whole, I guess, conglomerate of Nick Holtz being, Brian Callahan's right-hand man when it comes to making decisions, making plays, decisions, and so forth. And you have Brendan Allen, who's been in the Brian Callahan offensive system for 3 seasons in Cincinnati. Do you prefer, just a spectator on the outside looking in, do you prefer a guy like that being a I guess, players coach in some regard for a young quarterback in Cam Ward?
Yeah, because I think you have an offensive possession, and you come to the sidelines, and not every time Brian's not going to be able to come over there and just sit down and talk with him. Like he's got to go coach, right? He has to see what's going on with the defense and kind of how the game's flowing. And so to have somebody like Brandon Wright, who's first of all played in Brian's system, he's also played on the field and he sees it, right? He knows. Hey, if we call this play, I know the route concept, what defense they're playing. Hey, man, this is what you should be looking for, right? And so really it's Brian's voice to Cam. And so Brandon and Cam can be on the sidelines and they can be having conversations about, hey, man, look, when last time I played, whenever it was against this game, whatever, this is what happened. Like, hey, you make sure you're hitting this receiver. He's going to be open, right? So they can have those conversations that necessarily Brian and Cam can't have right on the spot after an offensive possession. And so to have somebody like that who's played in the system, who knows coach, he knows his expectations, what to see. He's already seen it. I think that's huge for Cam and his development, because he's going to have to learn. He's going to have to learn quickly, right? I mean, you might come out Denver, and it might be tough sledding for the first half. You might have a game week 3, and it's tough sledding, and those conversations aren't always going to be able to be had between coach and player. And so for somebody like Brandon to be there, to be that voice, those eyes, everything for him, I think is going to be huge for Cam.
Brett, with training camp starting every year we have one, the training camp darling, some guy that just shows up and pushes for a spot on the roster and ends up, flaming out. Who in your mind this year, who in your mind this year do you think could be the training camp darling?
Honestly, I don't know. I think for me, like when I was playing, obviously I looked at guys from like a special team standpoint. Like I'd always watch the DBs, the receivers, like, who's that guy that could be that 5th receiver, 6th receiver that, is playing well at his position. That's first and foremost, the most important thing, right? But then also somebody that can go out there and really contribute on special teams. And so I look at, even like in the past, right? I was talking earlier about these draft picks, right? Like DK, like they're 4th round picks. They're not going anywhere, right? But then, I remember way back, I think it was 2013 with Jack Doyle, right? Who, Western Kentucky product, ended up playing, for the Colts for 9 years. We went to a Pro Bowl together. But at the time on the roster in 2013 it was Delaney Walker, right? Which we all know about Delaney, probably one of the best catching tight ends in the league, right? You had Craig Stevens, who was probably the best blocking tight end. And then you had Taylor Thompson, who was a 5th round pick from the year prior, right? And we only kept 3 tight ends. But Jack Doyle was doing really, really well. And, Taylor Thompson necessarily, wasn't performing to what Jack was doing, but he was a 5th round pick. And so I think it's really important for these draft picks, because the last thing you want to do is get rid of a Jack Doyle, right? A guy that was a 9-year vet, ton of catches, touchdown, 30 plus touchdowns, right? Had a great career in Indianapolis, or LeGarrette Blount, right? Somebody that comes in, it's like, well, there's not really a lot of room in the running back room, but somebody that they maybe brought in and drafted, well, they're going to keep him, right? And but the draft pick wasn't necessarily performing to maybe how LeGarrette was performing or Jack, but they obviously let him go because of numbers. And so I probably look at more like, how are the draft picks performing? Because the last thing you want is to let go of somebody to go somewhere else and then they have a great career. And so
Right.
I think the wide receiver room is going to be really interesting to watch. Obviously the top of the wide receiver room is pretty good. But then you look at the depth, like there's so many guys that, you guys could probably spend 2 segments on, okay, hey, if they only let's say they keep 5, maybe let's say they keep 6, right? You could probably spend 2 segments on trying to figure out the 6th, right?
Right.
And so I think it's just one of those things you just kind of have to watch, and you kind of see where guys are falling on the depth chart, as you get to these preseason games. And there's going to be some darlings. I think there's going to be a couple of them. I plan on coming out to practice and watching, but hopefully your draft picks are performing to the level to where obviously they're worthy of their pick. Because like I said, the last thing you want is to have somebody like, let's say like a Bryce Oliver, who's he's performing really, really well. But then all of a sudden, you have these draft picks and, that are keeping the spot. And then it's like, what do you do with Bryce? Well, he had a great preseason, but I just don't know if we can squeeze him on that 53. You cut him. Man, what if he goes somewhere else and then starts performing well?
Well, Brett, appreciate the time. I was going to ask you real quick about NSC, but we kind of run out of time
Yes,
for the most
let's
part.
go.
But what do you think, just real quick, about their whole 15-match unbeaten streak? It gets cut to Inter Miami, and now they're back-to-back wins here at home, and they're honestly one of the top teams to go for the Supporters Shield right now.
Yeah, the East is heavy, right? You got Cincinnati, Nashville, Philly, Columbus, Miami. Miami's got 3 games in hand. Miami still has to play Cincinnati twice, and they have the Leagues Cup. So Miami still has 16 games left. Nashville, SC, obviously with the U.S. Open, they only have 11 left. I'm really curious to see how that works out. I think what I'm most excited about, we went to the Columbus game the other night, and it was crazy because Columbus was only playing 3 defenders, and 2 of them were kind of like attacking defenders. And rarely do you see Nashville SC with kind of that long ball, right? And so, for example, Nahar hits that long ball, Surridge dribbles it down, crosses it to Mukhtar, goal. Like, I feel like Nashville SC is at a point where they can dissect you however they want to. You want us to play over top, play the long ball? Guess what? We can do it. You want us to work up the left side with Daniel Lovitz? We can do it. You want to go to the right side with Nahar, with our defenders as attacking defenders? We can do it. You want to go up the middle with Tagseth and that whole crew, Perez? We got it. And so I think for them, they're not like a one-trick pony. They beat Columbus 3-0 by doing it in a totally different style than probably what you saw against Toronto, right, where they're trying to work it up the right side with Nahar, and they won 1-0. So I think that's what's probably most exciting to me going forward in these last 10 games, and even the U.S. Open Cup, is just to kind of see how they're able to dissect each opponent based on what they're giving them, and they're winning. They're scoring. Sam Surridge, 18 goals, tied with Messi. I think Mukhtar's got, I think he has almost 100 shots, which is, I think, 3rd in the league. So it's definitely a fun product to watch, and I'm excited to see him going forward.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the way BJ Callahan has kind of brought everything down to the basics and helping all these guys develop throughout the season. Because at the beginning of the year, for me, looking at Nashville, I was like, oh, this is a good development year. You're able to establish a few key guys, but this team's well above schedule. Well ahead of schedule, excuse me.
Well, it helps too when you bring in a defender like Nahar, who's an MLS All-Star, and how he's able to bring the ball up, from his feet, possession-wise. He can dribble. He's dribbling past guys, sending crossers in over to Surridge, Mukhtar. Lovitz can do the same thing on the left side. It's just, it's honestly really enjoyable. It's an enjoyable product to watch, and they're seeing the fruit of the changes that BJ's made. And obviously going forward with this race, thankfully they've already played Philly twice.
Mm-hmm.
They still have to go to Cincinnati, which will be a tough one. But obviously going to San Diego on Friday, who's the best team in the West. But like I said, it's just they're playing really well. It seems like they're gelling well as a team. Even when Perez not out there with suspension, from his cards, to come in, and they probably should have beat Toronto 4-5-0. But they're slicing and dicing, and they're getting a lot of 3-point wins from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, Brett, appreciate the time. We'll talk more Calcio going forward coming up in a few days. I'll get a hold of you for that. But appreciate the time as always, Brett, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
Brett Kern, talking a little Calcio, man.
I never thought I would experience Brett Kern talking soccer.
Dude's a big soccer guy.
He's into it. I can tell.
Yeah. When they're the best team in Nashville, you got to talk about it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a tad bit. But you know what else is fun? You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Celebrity birthdays. It is America's favorite game. It's pretty close to Where Are They Now? But
I think Where Are They Now is overtaking it.
I don't know. We'll have to see. But we'll get to that on the other side here on the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game. All right, celebrity birthdays. Here we go, Connor. Are you ready? Welcome back to the
I'm
Chase
always
and
ready.
Joe Show. I mean, this is it's America's favorite game. It's
Soon to be second.
Whoa.
Once our invention takes over.
Yes, our wonderful game of Where Are They Now? But as for now, it's celebrity birthdays. Brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc. Their commercial plumbing and HVAC division covers all of refrigeration, services, maintenance needed. JarrettCompaniesInc.com, above and beyond industry standards. Parker, if you may.
Nope.
It's like this tall.
Magnum. Sorry.
There it is.
Love it. Love it. Celebrity birthdays brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc. First on the list, we have Global Hug Your Kids Day. Don't have any kids, but if
I
you
don't have
kids,
any.
Go give them a hug.
My wife has plants.
Doesn't count.
I'll hug kids I see today that I don't know.
You would say something like that.
Invite an alien to live with you day. Not going to do that. Legal drinking age day.
That was the plot of Superman.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh. National Be Someone Day. Just want to be myself.
Just be someone.
Yep. National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. Probably after the comment you made there, Connor.
Oh yeah, Connor's in the doghouse for sure.
I need to be. I pulled the go to jail card.
National Junk Food Day is today. So if you like eating some junk food, go get you some of that. All right, I was talking about this. I don't know what this is, but it looks delicious. National Lamington Day. It looks like a chocolate cake with.
Are we sure it's not like some Archduke of like Argentina named
Yeah.
Lamington or something like that?
National Lamington Day. It's a picture of a chocolate cake with looks like white icing in between, like
With
a
lamb
sandwich.
in it.
Oh, I wouldn't be opposed to that. National Tug of War Tournament Day today.
Brian Callahan rejoices.
Yes.
It's his favorite day.
It's his favorite day. I mean, if you want to go have a field day over at Titans training camp, go ahead.
I'm
You'll
sure.
probably do that. And then last one, but not least, take a monkey to lunch day. So, if you have a pet monkey or whatever, you want to go to the zoo,
Connor,
feed them
stop
lunch.
it.
So, you ever been to the zoo, Connor?
Yes.
It's fun, isn't
I was
it?
raised there.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Well, going to celebrity birthdays. Everyone loves this game. We'll go first on the list. We have John Lovitz. He was featured in the movie The Benchwarmers. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
The very rich guy.
Keanu Reeves.
Well, no.
No.
John Lovitz. He was the heavy set man in The Benchwarmers.
Well, Keanu Reeves was in that movie, right?
No.
In
Keanu Reeves?
Benchwarmers?
In Benchwarmers, the baseball movie?
Oh, no.
John Wick?
I'm thinking of the football one.
John Lovitz.
Regardless, he's 62.
Okay, 62. Parker?
65.
He is 68. So right on the outside corner there. Next one we have is Juno Temple. She was in
Ted Lasso.
yes, she was in
Mhm.
Ted Lasso. Yep.
Oh,
So
I have no earthly idea.
She is 41.
okay.
39.
Close. 36.
How does this scoring system work?
It's by 2. So if you said 38, you would have got 1 point. If you would have said 36, you would have got 2 points. Yeah, so you were a little bit off there. Next one we have is Paul Brandt. Paul Brandt, country music artist, Canadian country music artist. It's his birthday today.
I don't know who that is. 56.
Okay.
Paul Brandt sounds like a 62-year-old man.
He is 53. We are deadlocked at 0-0.
It's gonna be a long one.
Man, barn burner.
Let's see. Actress Allie Landry. She appeared in a Doritos commercial that aired during the 1998 Super Bowl. So
Oh,
if
okay.
that gives you any context of how old she is.
63.
67.
52. And we roll on.
We're awesome at this game,
It's the
Connor.
greatest game of all time.
Actor
Terrific.
Josh Harnett. He turns a certain age today. Fun fact, he starred in the film Fight or Flight last year.
I have no idea who that is either. 58.
I was going to say 57.
That's so 57? Incorrect. 47. All
Wow.
right.
We're doing great.
Let's see some other notable birthdays here. Ooh, boy. This is tough. Blake Lewis
Who?
is American Idol runner-up.
Oh,
You don't know American Idol?
I know American Idol. 34.
Oh, 32.
44. All right. And you know what? We'll go with a sports birthday. Give me a second.
Please.
Yeah.
For the love of God. Oh, I just punched the mic like Joe Rex Road.
That's all right. Sports birthdays today. Let's see what we got here. Birthdays of this. Oh, you ready for this, Connor? How old is Bob Orton Sr.?
Cowboy. Bob Orton is 81.
Oh, wait a minute. I may have. He's no longer with us. Excuse me.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh my goodness.
You just broke my heart.
Sorry about that. How about here we go. Norwegian soccer player for Manchester City, Erling Haaland.
Are you kidding me right now?
Erling
Fraser?
Haaland, 31.
It's what came up, man.
35.
Erling Haaland is not in his 30s. I believe it's 20. Yeah, 25. Yeah. So
Wonderful.
You guys will end in a 0-0 draw.
The worst game ever played.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Sorry about that, guys. The birthday list was not kind to any of us today. But again, thank you all for listening to the Chase and McJoe Show. DVD's coming up next. As Joe always says, men, if you're struggling and you want to talk to somebody, always reach out to Chase, Big Joe, myself, Connor, Parker, whoever. Mental health is a big thing. I actually had to go to a family member of mine, a distant relative of mine, went to his funeral. And, that was probably one of the things that took place was something like that. So it's never great to go to a funeral for somebody if you have any sort of outlet to speak to somebody, we're always listening. Call 988. That's always a good way to do that. And Connor, any more words after that?
Stay safe, people.
Stay safe.
I have one word. Happy anniversary to my wife, Angie Kelly.
Happy anniversary. How about that? Parker and his wife, Angie.
Screw you for being happy and married.
Well, that'll do it for us today on the Chase and Big Joe Show. DVD is up next. Stay tuned in on 102.5 The Game.